sensationally
just
seasoned?
less work for Wheels. That's
I don't do any work. Christina has to go and get the mail. Leaving Las Vegas, not just Nicolas Cage's most respected film, also the latest Davante Adams rumor.
National treasure.
Real.
Critically. The latest Davante Adams rumor, especially after Aaron.
Valley Girl was good. But I was
Valley Girl?
Yeah. It was young Nick Cage. You saw it. Nick saw it. You saw that?
Moonstruck was the correct answer.
Yeah.
You were in half of them.
Well done.
Here's Aaron Rodgers golfing.
Do you think Luke Getsy's going to utilize Davante Adams good in the new Raiders offense?
I love Luke Getsy. He's a fantastic coach.
Awesome.
And I love Davante. I can't wait to play with him again.
Great. Love to hear it.
Whoa. Now, there was rumors from Bart Scott that he actually just meant golfing.
I think he did.
I don't. Schefter saying, here's a statement from Davante's agents about trade requests or just moving on from the Raiders. This is baseless, unfounded speculation, and Davante is expected to be with the Raiders as there has been absolutely no trade talk, period. Doth protest too loudly. Brew, should the Jets go all in for Davante?
Look, I don't think they can get him, all right? At least not to start the season. But, yes, they should try. They're already all in, okay? This is in their minds. Now, none of us think they're going to reach the Super Bowl.
You might.
In their minds, they are Super Bowl or bust. They really are.
Does that make, if you think you're Super Bowl or bust, are you?
I mean, not really. But their playoffs are bust, that's for sure.
Okay.
Their playoffs are bust. My point is this. You have a 40-year-old quarterback.
So add more old guys.
You bolstered your offense. Yes. No, look, you got a 40-year-old quarterback.
Yeah.
You bolstered your offensive line with a 33-year-old Tyron Smith who's injury prone. All right? If you don't make the playoffs at least this year, your whole staff is probably going to be new. They're probably all getting fired. This is not a 5-year plan. It ain't even a 2-year plan. Go for it.
So this is.
I'm saying the future be darned.
But that's why
Go
the Jets will
for it.
always be the Jets, because it moves like that. Wilds, you said something interesting.
What are they building
He's
for?
not that old. Okay, so Davante's 31. He turns 32 this season.
Sure.
How many wide receivers in the league last year, 32 or older, do you think had 100 yards total? Not in the game, total.
Let me go through the list.
Just give it a guess. Give me a number.
You're not going to get me.
But
I'm gonna get this.
would you think
Hold-
that
Hold on,
go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you. That's fine.
I'm still going.
The
Hold on.
answer.
I'm going through the AFC South.
The answer is one.
Oh.
Adam Thielen. That's it. And so
What age was that? 31.
32.
You don't think that's going to start changing as guys are in better shape than
last
and
year is the
longer?
most recent year we have, and the point that I am making is, by the way, I think Davante will be very good this year. I think he'll be very good this year on whatever team he's on. But he probably, at best, has 2 more excellent years left.
Ooh, that's
and,
Bob. Who cares?
And
Yeah, why shouldn't they go for it? They should build for the future.
Rodgers got 2 more years too.
There has to be a happy medium between we are going for it and we are liquidating all of our retirement to go on a sweet vacation. Like you cannot put more eggs into the 40-year-old quarterback coming off a torn Achilles, coached by Bob Saleh basket. You have to leave something for
the reason we're going on the vacation is because the marriage is in trouble.
Well,
and if we don't go on this vacation, we might not survive.
But Brew,
that's what they're doing.
Then should they trade for Brandon Ayuk? Should the Jets, what are we talking?
The Jets should go. They have 2 years. They're on the Brady Bucks plan. All in. We're in cap hell. Yep. What are we going to do? Wow, the bake show.
Right.
We got a deal. And look at, we clawed our way up.
Years,
let me respond to that real quick. You know what the Bucks with Brady never did? Trade a first-round pick for an old player. They spent money. They did salary cap stuff. They already traded significant draft capital for the quarterback. They then went out and got Mike Williams. Everybody loves Garrett Wilson. The ESPN coaches called him the 13th best receiver in football, but they have the amazing skill position group. I understand. And now we're going to trade more draft capital.
Yes, trade everything.
Okay.
The Bucks. Brady,
that's
who do
a
you
dumb
want?
plan.
I want to run my offense. Deal. How about you have wide receiver? Yeah, I want Antonio Brown. We saw that Dayball was interested in trading up for Jaden Daniels, who ended up going second, obviously. Giants took LSU's Malik Neighbors at 6. So how should Danny Dimes feel about the trade speculation, bro?
Motivated. He might be hurt. He might be sad, and he might feel betrayed. But you better feel motivated. I mean, this year he's fighting for his life as a starting quarterback for the Giants, if not in the whole NFL.
Yeah, of course.
Like, this is his chance. And I don't want to hear any sob stories. Okay, they're looking at somebody else. You're not playing well. The 6 games you played last year, you had 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for $40 million. All right, so I don't want to hear, they're actually looking at my replacement. Yeah, they're looking at your replacement. So go out there and put your nose to the grindstone and be motivated.
Yeah, so I don't think he's a player of a caliber that deserves job security.
Right.
I mean, I know that sounds mean. Like, it just as from a football player's perspective, he's not good enough to have real job security. That's just how since post his rookie year. So I don't really hold last year against him that much because he suffered 2 significant injuries. And the only reason he would feel like he has job security is because the team was foolish enough to give him that contract. But because your agent did a good job, it doesn't mean you actually, it works longer than a year. Since his rookie year, he has played 47 games. In those 47 games, he averages 200 yards passing, has 38 touchdowns in passing in 47 games, and 41 combined interceptions and lost fumbles. Not total fumbles, lost fumbles. That's not a player that ever should be like, well, I don't have to worry about them bringing someone in. And here's the thing. Even though they didn't, because the little stuff I've seen from Hard Knocks, it sure seemed like Dable liked Caleb, like Drake, like Jaden, was interested in these quarterbacks. And that wasn't just because he likes those quarterbacks. I think it's because he's interested in seeing how his offense would look in New York with anyone other than Daniel Jones potentially, which is why this John Schneider quote meant something to me when they lost Drew Lock, and he said, they basically sold him on the opportunity to compete to be the starter. He looked at Baker Mayfield's opportunity last year and felt this could be something similar. Yeah. Some people were like, oh, that was John Schneider being messy, John Schneider doesn't gain much by the Giants having, they're not in the same division, you know what I mean? And Daniel Jeremiah, shortly after the draft, and Daniel Jeremiah is as locked in to anything, and I know this because Dusty talks to me about him almost every day. Daniel Jeremiah said, as just a throwaway line on a post-draft podcast, the Giants weren't just weighing that second crop of quarterbacks after the top 3, the Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, whatever, versus Daniel Jones. They were weighing them against Drew Lock, which tells me I think that's a real competition in New York between Daniel Jones and Drew Lock. So I guess he's happy they didn't trade for Jaden Daniels, but I think it's possible Drew Lock starts for the New York Giants.
From day one?
I think it's possible.
Wow.
Dayball's playing with it. Could have done it. Live from New York. They show that he considers himself a bit of an inventor. If I was 4,000 years ago, I would. I'd be great.
This guy's out here dropping hot Isaac Newton takes before the show.
Just dissing legend.
He's overrated. Isaac Newton's overrated. His snacks probably underrated. That's first things first. Today.
That was Fig Newton, not Isaac.
Different guy. Yeah. Today, why one very important person on the Chiefs is not interested in talking about a three-peat. Does Andy Reid belong on the board? Meanwhile, Josh Allen, overrated according to one anonymous executive and one host of this show. And finally, Aaron Rodgers questions Saleh. Why this fallout could get worse. Also, classic one.
Classic one. Instantly correct. First opportunity had to be correct. It was correct.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Okay.
I read the whole story.
Yes.
They patched it up.
Bro. No. Let's just save it for the show. I mean, this is the show, but when we're doing it in the show. Let's just save it for that.
Okay. We start with the champs. We're 50 days away from Chiefs-Ravens to open the season. Mahomes and Kansas City gearing up for the three-peat. The active GOAT and Oakley sunglasses enthusiast reflected on last year's path to the Lombardi, which did feature a few bumps and